Hear real stories of courage, healing, and new beginnings at Refuge for Women. This is where hope is restored and futures are reclaimed.
Welcome to the Refuge for Women YouTube channel. My name is Mindy Murphy. I am the Community Engagement Coordinator at our Texas Gulf Coast location.
I'm Ashley Parker. I'm from also Texas Gulf Coast. I work in the house as a DCA, and I'm also an admin assistant.
So one of the questions we get quite often from our donors is, what do the residents do all day? And Ashley's got a great perspective with that. She works on our admin side, but also in the house with our residents. So
Yeah.
Ashley, what do they do all day?
So I would say what I like to tell people is that we're not a shelter necessarily where people just sit and just go about their day and have some counseling. The residents at the house, they do work. They have to do a curriculum where they are reading. I know one of the things they like to do is they actually will watch movies and they will write essays from that movie. They like to do that. They are required to exercise a certain amount of times per week. They cook for each other. So if you have 5 residents, then that one resident will cook for all 5 of them.
So tell me about that. How do meals work then?
So usually they take care of themselves for breakfast and lunch, but they have to meal plan for that week. If they have Wednesday, then every Wednesday they will cook, and then they'll be in charge of all the prep, all the cleaning up after eating dinner as well.
And they eat family style together every evening? Is that right?
Every evening, yes.
Wow. So they really have a chance to bond and
That's the
share
best
their
times.
talents.
We always have the best conversations at dinner. Because like I said, it's a program that they have to work. And so we sit down for 30 minutes. And even if we sit down late, because dinner's late, and that happens sometimes because that's what happens in life. Things get busy and or food runs late. And we sit down for 30 minutes. And sometimes you'll have a little bit of awkwardness for a minute. And then all of a sudden, it's 6 or 7 people eating and talking about something completely different. So.
Yeah, which is completely new for them too. A lot of them don't have that sense of community or connection or healthy eating or responsibility. So that really instills a lot of the values that we try to teach them. Wow. So do they have like art therapy, or what are some of the things that they love to do?
Yeah, that's the other thing. They do some art therapy, and we'll bring in volunteers, and we could do mosaics. They could do art. I know a lot of the residents, they are amazing artists. I can barely draw a stick figure. And these women, they are just so talented. They can sew, crochet, and they really enjoy it. One resident does her therapy through drawing. And so when you look at her artwork, it's actually how she copes with the trauma that she's been through. Wow. And her pieces are absolutely gorgeous. And so then when she's explaining to us in the house what each part of her art means, you can just see the therapy happening right there.
Wow. And was that a learned skill, or she already had that skill and she's just been able to develop it because she's in a safe space and she can use that?
Yeah, she could always draw, but now she's doing the therapy with the drawing, yeah.
Okay. So their curriculum, what does that look like? Are we talking about GED, or what kind of studies are they doing? And
I do know, okay, so they will go through different Bible studies. I know a book that they really liked was the parables that Jesus taught through. And so they go through each of those, which I think that's great, because then they get to learn real life situations. And they'll do different financial studies and studies to learn. They have boundaries, a book about boundaries. So that way they can take what they learn at the house, and once they graduate and move off and they're confident, they're independent, then they can use that as well to have safe boundaries. So they can stay safe for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and one thing we ask for quite a lot is curriculum, and I always like to tell people that our residents get to keep their curriculum, so they journal in these books and they study in these workbooks, and they get to take all of that with them. So it's quite a good start when they go off to be on their own to have that resource to look back on.
Oh yeah, I know there was one book that they did, and they really liked this. The director gave them a chapter each, so they had to read the chapter, and then they had to do a presentation. And so each resident did a different type of presentation. But I had worked with one of them. She did a big poster, and it was just really cool to see because she was super proud of what she had come up with, and she read it over and over, and she wanted to make sure that it was perfect, and she wanted to make sure the residents understood it. And me and her, we worked on that late one night
awesome.
at the dinner table. Just another night.
So they're 8 to 5. You know, we go to work and we come home and we have dinner and we have family stuff, but they're there all the time. So what does their Monday through Friday look like?
So they wake up at a certain time. They're getting their meds, and then they do worship. They do a devotion, and then every day kind of looks a little different. They might have a book study or a Bible study or several throughout the whole entire day. They have time to do their homework, because that's what they call it. They have homework that they have to do because they're doing all these different studies. And then usually in the afternoon sometime, that's when they kind of can have some more free time. A lot of the residents actually like to work out in the workout room because they know that they're trying to get healthy mentally, but they're really trying to get healthy physically as well. Yeah. And so they will go to the workout room in the afternoon. They also will walk outside sometimes. And also the residents like to play board games.
I was going to ask you about that. I heard there's some card playing Wednesday nights when you're there.
Yes,
yeah?
I work Wednesday nights in the house, and it is game night, and we absolutely love it. And that's really fun to see. And so we go through a variety of games, and it's really fun because we have a lot of inside jokes, things that happen. There is a lot of laughter. It gets competitive because we all would like to win, but it hasn't got competitive where it affects any relationships, and everybody's a pretty good sport and learning and teaching each other. And so the Wednesday nights they're fun.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So it sounds like a busy week, Monday through Friday. What do weekends look like?
Weekends are a lot more laid back, and they like that. I think they like a little bit of, they like the structure, but they also like the laid back as well.
Like we all do.
We all love to relax.
Weekends are the best. Yeah.
So they get to sleep in, and they get to watch a little bit more TV. And sometimes there's some outings that are planned where they can go out, and then they go worship at a local church, and just they get to take a nap.
Yeah. Naps are great.
Naps. They don't take naps during the week.
Yeah.
But they get to do it on the weekends. And
That's
so
great.
yeah. But dinners every night.
And they do quite a bit of outings with our community partners and different volunteer groups. We've taken them kayaking. We did a trail biking.
Yeah.
We've done archery. They've been to some plays, which we do try to take them out when we can, but definitely keeping that felt safety as a big piece of when we're out.
I know I've seen where some residents, there's a last minute outing, and they'll be very nervous to go out. And then we tell them, well, it wasn't planned, so we can always just go home. And then I remember this one time a resident was like, no, we're going to stay and we're going to do this. And because she was the one that was holding up the group. Yeah. And we stayed, and she was so happy she made that decision. So it was so nice to see that change in her, because a few months ago she didn't like change real quick, and she didn't feel safe. But this time she was like, no, I'm going to stay. That's and amazing. The whole group, we had a great time, and we were all grateful for that change in her, to see what the Lord's doing in her life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where the community and all of it comes together, and that's our why. So you work with the residents 1 day a week, and that is an overnight shift. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I do a little both. Sometimes I work a day shift. Sometimes I work in the evening, day shift on the weekend, and then I'll work an overnight as well.
And what does that look like? I know a lot of people have questions about that, or they're nervous to come in, or they think they're there as a therapist, or they're just not really sure.
I would say the biggest thing is I'm there to be a listening ear and just to make sure that we're doing the right stuff that we're supposed to be doing in the house. I always try to encourage people by saying, if you love people, if you love Jesus, this is the spot for you. That's all you have to do. I'm not there to counsel, but I get to see actually what the counselor does in their lives. And I've just been blown away by how the Lord works in their life. I've seen just little things change, and I've also seen things that I still, if I ever feel discouraged, I'll think, wow, God did that in the house. And he not only did that, I got to see it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
And it's quite the miracle to see.
It's life-changing for
It
sure.
is life-changing.
Yeah.
I know when I first started and I trained, I remember being in my driveway, cleaning my car out and just praying for the residents. And I couldn't wait to get back. So we're there and we're just making sure that they have a listening ear if we need one, and just to be with them and talk with them about everyday life. And
there's a training that's specifically trauma informed.
yes.
So all of our direct care associates, our DCAs, are trained for any kind of emergency.
Yes, we are
or-
trained, and we also have each other. I have another direct care associate that I work with, and so we kind of will team up together, and we'll make sure that we're on the same page. And it's almost like a sisterhood with the other direct care associate that makes sure that that we're in it together and know what we're doing together, and so we're never alone.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's
So you're there to keep them safe,
keep them safe.
to keep them on their schedule.
Yes,
to
make sure they feel safe.
That make sure they feel safe, and they are safe. They're very safe.
Yes.
But to keep them on their schedule, keep them regulated,
Yes.
just to be eyes and ears, and
It's the same
something
with the
else.
volunteers.
Yeah.
We have a volunteer that comes every Thursday and does art with them, and she's just a different ear.
Yeah.
And the residents love when different people come in. They love when they come in of all ages. They like the young people that come in. They love the older people that come in, and they just remind them of other people in their lives that they've known before and that they can talk to and trust. And it's just a variety, because when you're in the house for a long time, it's really good to have different people come in and out to talk to and joke with and do stuff with.
Yeah. Just like our volunteer teachers. They love
Yes.
those classes because the teachers are changing and the curriculum's changing, and they get to build those relationships and move forward.
I think it's good too, because then once they graduate from the program, they have somebody on the outside that they can talk to.
Yeah. Building that community
Yes.
to continue to get healthier and work towards that life of freedom that they're looking for.
Yeah, we've had residents that once they graduate and move out, they're still going to the same Bible studies with the same women that have been pouring into them,
That's
which
so
I think
cool.
is really neat to see.
Yeah,
The
what a
Lord
blessing.
working,
Yeah.
and the older women pouring into the younger women.
Wow. What a
Yeah,
blessing.
our community is great.
Well, thanks for sharing all that. That's very, very interesting perspective. Very cool. So thanks for watching this episode. We are only able to do what we do thanks to support from our community, whether that's giving your time or through financially giving. You can visit our website to make a donation today and keep our doors open to help support women who need our help now more than ever.
Thank you.